It is the achievement process that grows self-esteem and self-worth and self-value because you realize, number one, what you're made of. Number two, what you can overcome. And number three, your mind has now been opened to the potential possibilities of what else you could do. You see, we never truly understand what we're made of or what we're capable of until we prove to ourselves that we can fucking do it. Now, once we can do it, that's when the world better watch out.
I've built many startups, most of them have failed, so Bitcoin is exactly the place that I like to be.
We're gonna end it right there. So, here's a question for you guys. The question for you guys is, would you or do you consider me to be a positive individual? Do you consider me to be a positive, self-confident, high self-esteem individual? I don't know. It's not like I can read your brain right now. But I will tell you this. I struggle, just like everybody else, with self-confidence and self-esteem. I really do, which is why we're going to talk about it today. I took a lot of notes here, guys, and I have 5 things on both sides of this equation that I want to discuss. The whole idea that I want to convey here, and this is really the kind of the crux and the foundation of today's podcast, is that the more self-esteem, the more self-confidence that you have in yourself, and the more that you give that to others, the more you get back to crush your own dreams, to crush it, to go for it, to do it. The more self-confidence, the more self-esteem that you give to others, the more you get in return. And I think for many of you guys out there listening, you already know this, is that when you pump other people up, when you excite them, when you inspire them, when you encourage them to do amazing things with their lives, they in turn return back tenfold, 100-fold that excitement, that energy. This is one of the things where I am ridiculously selfish in life about. I'm ridiculously selfish about this. I love pumping people up. I love inspiring people. I love encouraging them to crush their dreams, go for it, go big time, shoot for the moon. And the reason I'm ridiculously selfish about encouraging others to do amazing things is because I get it back tenfold, 20-fold, 100-fold. You see, I have truly found, guys, that the more self-esteem, the more self-confidence that you give to others, you get it back. You get even more back. It is amazing, I will say. It is amazing how many people I meet do not fucking value themselves. They have so much low self-esteem, such lack of self-confidence. It's crazy. I can't tell you how many times I have had conversations with my wife later in the day after meeting an individual or going to some sort of event or we met individual, and I'll turn to my wife later and I'll say, man, that guy, that gal, whoever it was, they have zero self-confidence. This guy, this gal is just a wreck. I know at least a couple of times I've had that conversation with my wife. It's disparaging. It's too bad. And so how does this happen? How does it come to pass that an individual has really low self-esteem or really low self-confidence? Well, I'm going to give it to you, and it's going to sound harsh, but guys, this is what I believe to be is the reality. If you are an individual or you know a person who has low self-confidence, low self-esteem, it's because your parents fucked you. Your parents fucked you. It's your parents' fault. Or it's a disapproving authority figure in your life. It was somebody early in your life, an authority figure at some level, often 99% of the time, your parents who fucked you. Okay? You can go and press pause press pause on this podcast. Go forgive your parents. Say, parents, mom, dad, you fucked me. You were a disapproving authority figure, and you didn't have to be, and you said something many years ago, and you fucked me. I forgive you. And then after you forgive them, you can come back and press play. But see, one of the reasons why I don't have probably as big issues with self-esteem as other people is because I didn't have any authority figures. My parents thoroughly fucked me in many ways, and they fucked me in the way of not having authority figures. And this negativity, this self-worth issues stem from something in the past, whether it's a parent or it's an authority figure, don't matter. Somebody fucked you, and you feel shitty about yourself. I'm going to give you 5 things, and these are 5 things that I wrote down that I had gone through before in my master's in counseling degree. Some of you guys don't remember that, but I do have a master's, my second master's in counseling, and I focus on organizational behavior. And 5 things that I wrote down that came up from my memory when it came to negativity and self-worth issues. Let's just go through them briefly. Number 1, surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with positive people. I find it ridiculous that people today have friends that they're willing to stay with, and these friends are so fucking negative. Why would you stay around a negative person? You guys have listened to my podcast on reprogramming pain, reprogramming success, reprogramming your life to success. If you haven't watched them, go watch them right now. Why would you ever want an individual in your life who every time that you hang out with them, they are programming into you negativity? That makes no sense. Remove that individual. Number 2, get to know yourself. Go look up my podcast on solitude, on learning to be alone. Get to know yourself. You ain't that great, and frankly, you ain't that bad either. You're just human. You're human. You're like us. You got flaws. You got scars. You got fucked up in the past. But that's the past. By the way, reminder, go listen to Reprogramming the Past if you have issues in your past. But get to know yourself. Sit down. Understand. Sit in quiet, solitude. Collect yourself. Know thyself. Number 3, acknowledge your strengths and your weaknesses. Acknowledge what you're good at and what you're bad at. Acknowledge it. What are you great at? What is something that brings you alive? What is something that you do exceptionally better than the average Joe? What are things that you're weak at that give you pain, that give you pause? Maybe these are areas in which you shouldn't be endeavoring in because you're weak in these areas. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Number 4, so important, don't compare. If you have negative self-worth issues, don't compare yourself with anybody else, especially on the internet. I'm going to say this once. I'm probably going to say it several times during this podcast, but I'll say it once right now. The internet isn't real. Yeah, the people on the other side of that social application might be real, but they ain't real to you. You just see a digital apparition of them. You see a digital version of them. They ain't real to your current reality, your tangible reality now, where you're sitting, where you're standing, wherever you are. They ain't real. Stop comparing yourself to shit that ain't real. None of that fucking matters. It's so fascinating to me how many people get caught up in this comparison games, and they'll tell you to your face they're not comparing themselves, but they are, because those other people, those other entities, those other individual successes are in the context of your decision making. That's your problem. Why are you holding on to that shit, bro? You don't need to worry about anybody else but yourself. And number 5, positive. Surround yourself with positive people, number 1. Number 5 is an attitude of positivity. Wake up in the morning. Shit ain't that bad. You alive, bro. You alive, sister. You might have gut issues. You might have health issues because you fat as fuck and you haven't disciplined yourself to a good life and a good lifestyle. But you still alive. You don't like the shitty job that you've pigeonholed yourself into, but you know what? That was a decision you made 12 years ago, and you need to deal with it. Maybe this is the time for you to get out of that situation and try something different. You know, a lot of reasons why I do this stuff is self-preaching. You know, just sermon to myself, guys. So these are 5 things. If you have negativity or self-worth issues, guys, number 1, surround yourself with positive people. Number 2, get to know yourself. Spend some time with yourself. Number 3, acknowledge your strengths and your weaknesses. What are you good at? What are you bad at? Number 4, don't fucking compare to internet bullshit. Number 5, have an attitude of gratitude. Have an attitude of positivity. Practice that. So let me give you 5 simple ways. Let's move right into it, guys, because I don't want to make this too long, but I want to make this applicable as this came to me today. Remember, the context of this is that the more self-esteem, the more self-confidence you give to others, right? This is something that's easy for me and it's natural for me because I love talking. Look at me now. I'm making this video for free. Ain't nobody getting paid here. And I want to do it because I want you guys to level up. I want you guys to succeed, right? The more that you give to others, the more self-confidence, self-esteem that you give to others, the more you get back. So here's 5 simple ways to improve your self-esteem, 5 simple ways to boost your self-confidence, 5 simple ways to get back more as you give. Number 1, smile. Smile, motherfucker. Smile. I will tell you, I struggle with, was my number 1. You know why because I struggle with it so bad. I have, what's it called? Bitchy resting face. Bitchy resting face, resting bitch face. I don't know what it's called. My wife tells me that it's clear. I know I have it. You get me reading something. I mean, let me. You get me reading something. You know what? You get me reading something. This is what I look like when I read. You get me thinking about something in public. I look like I'm pissed off all the time. Like my kids are so, bless my kids. My kids, they'll look at me and say, Appa, you mad? Appa, you mad? No, I'm not mad. I'm just thinking. Fucking smile. Practice smiling. Like I have to. This is crazy. I got mirrors here. I got 2 mirrors there. I got mirrors over there. And I'm looking at myself right here. I have mirrors. Not so I can look at my ugly, sweaty, stank ass. I have mirrors so I can see myself smile. I have mirrors to practice my smile. I have to do it because it is so natural for me to look like a curmudgeon. Like I have to practice and intentionally engage my smile muscles before I communicate, during communication, and after communication. And then once I'm after communication, then I can literally be like, I can just go. Now, this might seem like a chore, but guys, I'll tell you, a smile, let's be honest, a smile is fucking contagious. It's contagious. Like one of the things that I have to do almost every morning, and you guys know I work out every morning, is I have to force myself to smile to people in the gym. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there that early. I don't want to be sweating my ass off, tearing my muscles at 6:30 in the morning. Like, who does this? But I will tell you that smile, forcing myself to smile, say, good morning, Jim. Good morning, Ricky. To be honest, even though I'm forcing myself to smile and grit through my teeth, it makes my workout better. It makes my day better. It even makes the random events of the day that I have to do, they make them better. Because sometimes I remember. Sometimes I'm so cognizant and so aware of myself that before I open up that door to that store, before I go into that location, I will literally go like, smile, you loser. It's not loser. Smile, you stink ass. Like, smile, please. Smile. Let me tell you a story. I know a guy that when I was in college, like I went to college down in Florida State for a little while, but I used to come up to Georgia Tech and Georgia all the time. And there was a guy that we used to go hunting with when we were up here. But this motherfucker never smiled. And I never could understand. I could never understand why this guy, like, literally never smiled. It's because he had bad teeth? Did he have bad breath? Did he just have a weird bite system? Did he, like, Like when he talked through his lips. You know what I'm talking about? It was almost to ensure that you almost never saw the glint of teeth. And this guy never smiled. But I'll tell you guys, some of the most hearty laughs, some of the most belly shaking, hearty, like roll on the fucking ground laughs is when we got this guy. I'm not going to tell you his name. When we got this guy to smile. I know he listens to this shit, so I'm not going to. When we get this guy to smile, like it's just seeing his teeth, those chiclet ass teeth, makes my day. Smile, guys. It boosts your self-esteem. It boosts your self-confidence. Smile before you talk. Trust me, if you smile before you engage with someone, it fundamentally changes the trajectory and narrative of whatever you're about to say. Think about this. Let's say you're about to talk to your boss, and before you say the first word, you frown. Now, think about your boss. Think about right before you say the first word to your boss in the morning, you just tickled yourself by doing something stupid, and you're coming out of some sort of laughter and a smile. And you look at your boss and you say good morning with this like half smirk, half smile. And he's looking back at you like, what's going on with you? And I mean, does that not change the entire trajectory of that conversation? Is that conversation not going to be 1,000 times better just because you cracked a smile? Practice it today, guys. I promise you. It works. Number 2, give to others. Open a door. Give compliments. Practice positive actions. Practice positive actions. It's the whole idea around practicing fucking smiling. Practice positive actions. You got a wife? You got a girlfriend? You got a boyfriend? Awesome. Practice giving to them. Practice appreciation to them. I promise you. It'll make you better. It'll make you a better person. It'll make you a better boyfriend. It'll make you a better girlfriend. It'll make you a better spouse, husband, wife. It'll make you whatever you want to be. Trust me, when you give to others and you practice positive actions, practice appreciation, you become a better person and your self-esteem grows. You know why? Because people love other people giving them positive reinforcement. Number 3, obviously, this is similar to the number 3 on the negative side. It's focus on your strengths, right? If you're having issues with self-esteem and self-confidence, understand your strengths and your weaknesses. But when it comes to boosting your self-esteem, focus on your strengths. The world is so backwards. The world is so backwards when it comes to strengths and weaknesses. You know, there was a poll, there's many polls like this, but there was a poll done years ago, and the poll went something like this. It was a poll from to parents of children who were in, let's just say, middle school or elementary school. And the poll went out to the parents. And the poll went something like this. Your kid gets an A in math, an A in social studies, an A in history, an A in English, an A in gym, and a D in science. Where should you focus? I forget the number, but it was something like 98% of all parents said that their child should focus on the D, the negative. Why? Why would you do that? That's fucking stupid. There is a distinct reason why he's got an A in all these others and a D in this. It's because probably it's his weakest subject. It's probably because he or she's not interested. Probably there could be a multiplicity of reasons, but I can tell you something for a fact. It certainly ain't his strength. There's no way it's her strength. If she got an A in math, A in all these other things, but I got a D in science, it ain't her strength. Because if it was, she'd get an A because it was easy. Don't focus on those weaknesses. They're always going to be weak. Let me be abundantly clear if you're taking notes. Your weakness will always be weaker than your natural strength. Your weaknesses will always be weaker than your natural strength. Your natural inborn strength will always be your strength. It will be your greatest strength. Leverage it. Focus it. That's where money can be made. That's where business can be made. That's where success is found. Success is never found in your weaknesses. Success is found in your strengths. Okay, you can use any sports analogy. Okay, the best players in their sport, they choose a specific role to play. Okay, your quarterback, good at quarterback, not going to be a running back today, not going to be a whatever. Okay, you're in basketball, your forward's probably always going to be a forward, not going to be playing point guard next game. Okay, focus on your strengths. The world is so backwards when it tells you to focus on Why would you focus on weaknesses? I never focus on my weaknesses because they're weak. I improve my strengths because that's where money is made. That's where success is. Fuck your weaknesses. Accept your weaknesses. Accept them. And accept disapproval of being weak in those areas. Fuck people. Fuck people when they say you're weak. Great. You're right. I am weak. Excellent. It's a good thing I don't focus on it. It's a good thing I do what I'm good at. Because I only have 100 years or less, and there's no point in being average and mediocre at everything, thereby being good at actually nothing. Focus on your strengths. Number 4, remove bullshit. Let me be even just ridiculously specific here. Remove social applications from your fucking phone. Remove them. I'm going through that now. I actually have to go through that purge probably twice a year because the problem with social applications is they crop up. It's only an additive thing, right? You only add more stuff. Delete that shit. Delete those time bandits, those apps, the social time bandits. You don't need those likes. None of it's real. Nobody clicking on those likes, those hearts, those thumbs ups are fucking real. Delete that shit. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's a time bad. It's a distraction. What about other behavior patterns of waste? What about removing bad relationships? Get rid of bad relationships, please. Lord, have mercy. You guys have 100 years if you're lucky. Why are you going to waste any years on bad relationships of negative juju? Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Remove the bullshit. Remove the apps, the social apps. Remove the behavior patterns of waste. Remove the time bandits that steal from you, your youth, your passions. Fuck, I think some of you guys need to listen on my Removing Relationships podcast. Go way back. Find it. And last but not least, number 5, set goals and work towards them. Set goals and work towards them. You want to boost your self-esteem? How about getting some wins under your belt? How about getting some wins under your belt that only you could have achieved? Only through your hard work, only through your sweat and blood, only through your effort were you able to achieve and win. Set those goals, achieve them. It is the achievement process that grows confidence in self. It is the achievement process that grows self-esteem and self-worth and self-value because you realize, number 1, what you're made of. Number 2, what you can overcome. And number 3, your mind has now been opened to the potential possibilities of what else you could do. You see, we never truly understand what we're made of or what we're capable of until we prove to ourselves that we can fucking do it. Now, once we can do it, that's when the world better watch out because you've just been unleashed. Now's the time. Set goals, achieve them, work towards them, say no more than you say yes, and then achieving those goals will build you up. Practice positive communication. Practice positivity. That's one of the best ways to get over or improve your self-confidence is practice with others. You know what it really is, guys? It's self-programming. It's self-programming yourself to boost your self-confidence. Self-programming to boost your self-esteem. Program it. Do it. Let's review it real quick. When it comes to self-esteem and self-confidence, guys, let me be abundantly clear as we roll ourselves out of it. When it comes to more self-esteem and self-confidence, the more that you give others, the more you get back. This is something that you should be striving for. How can I get as much positive feedback, as much self-esteem, as much self-confidence as I possibly can back from people? This is why it's easy for me. You guys know this. Some of you do. Many of you don't. But you guys, for those that do, you guys know this. This is why it's so easy for me to engage with someone one-on-one quickly and immediately begin encouraging them to do something awesome. You know why? Not only is it a natural thing for me, but I know that I'm going to get back even more good juju. And new ideas will emerge. Exciting things will happen. And I'll come out of that conversation going, wow, I hope that guy does, or I hope that girl does something amazing, but I know that what I got out of it is going to help me do X, Y, and Z. Call me selfish, guys. Call me selfish. But when you have more self-esteem and self-confidence and you give it to others, you get even more in return. Smile. Give positive actions to others. Practice appreciation. Focus on your strengths. Remove bullshit and make those goals and start working toward them. The process of achievement is how you increase your self-esteem. So tell me, guys, in the comments below, if you want, what self-esteem and what self-confidence do you need to improve today? Oh, I'm supposed to practice smiling. This is Peter Saddington. This is Peter, the Bitcoin Lambo. If you appreciated this episode, smash the Lizzie to like button. Share it, guys, far and wide with someone in your network. Go and subscribe. And if you have a great comment, maybe I'll pin it.